Martins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grassroot Chats EP-14. Oh, it's been a wonderful week. It's me, your host, MC SaabiiBoi, with my co-host, Dwayne P. Frank, and of course, the lads in the building, Mr. Tanner's DJ, and of course, Mike N. How's it going, people? How's everybody going?
Yeah, cool, bro.
I'm good. Yes, man. Everything's good.
Yeah, man. To start the show, man, we have an Aston Villa fan wearing a Man United kit. It is just the way life is, man. We see some people just want to come to the good side. It's almost like the Super League. Some people just want to join the Super League.
Don't want to be left behind. Lord, it's less than a minute and you're already chatting shoppiness, but continue.
Yeah, well, I'm not. You will never catch me dead in another jersey. Dead.
Never.
Well, it's all good. Moving forward. So now, one of the best things that has come out this week is the wonderful Premier League Hall of Fame. Premier League Hall of Fame. And of course, we have the first two inductees, which is Alan Shearer and of course, Thierry Henry. I don't know how they got those two in first. I don't know where the voting came from. I know fans can vote now. And there are 23 nominees out there. And by the end of the year, they're hoping to get 6 more footballers in. First of all, we're all in agreement that Shearer and Henry deserve to be in there? Yes?
Yep. Of course.
Of course, no worries. But now there are 23 other players. And I would like to know who you would actually induct, given the chance, and why. So you have Tony Adams, David Beckham, Dennis Bergkamp, Sol Campbell, Eric Cantona, Andrew Cole, Ashley Cole, Didier Drogba, Les Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Roy Keane, Mathieu Letizier, Michael Owen, Peter Schmeichel, who happens to be the only goalkeeper.
I don't understand that.
Paul Scholes, John Terry, Robin Van Persie, Nemanja Vidic, Patrick Vieira, and Ian Wright. Now, the question is, Steve, why don't you understand that there's only one goalkeeper in the Hall of Fame? Who else? Which other goalkeeper would you add in there? At least for this year. Remember, this is just the first year.
David Seaman, Edwin van der Sar.
Okay.
That's just two off the top of my head very quickly.
You remember what they do say is that they say that these guys are brought in for what they have done on and off the field. So I don't know what they classify as off the field. And for on the field, I'm assuming you were a stellar player, you created to your team, blah, blah, blah. So I'll give you guys a very slight couple of seconds. So I'll start with you, Dwayne. Out of that 23, who would you be your absolute pick to join Henry and Alan Shearer?
Dennis Bergkamp.
Dennis Bergkamp. And why?
Dennis Bergkamp, because for me, he is the second best import from the rest of Europe that helped to revolutionize the game underneath the tutelage of Arsene Wenger with Henry. I think you've got to put Dennis Bergkamp in there. And he has arguably one of the best goals of all time. That spin against Dabizaz. Oh, Lord, give me strength. I'll never forget it. All right. It was a foul. I still think it was a foul. Do you see the way he pushed him off at the end? However, naughty. It was nasty. I could go through so many goals. That goal against Leicester City at Filbert Street. Brought it down with his left. Bring it down. Oh, Lord, there's too much. For me, Dennis Bergkamp, you've got to put him in there.
Okay. Mike, who would be your inductee?
Tony Adams.
Man like TA.
Yeah, mate.
Why?
Because the guy, first of all, is Mr. Arsenal. He epitomizes, he's synonymous with Arsenal success in a way, at least from the old guard. He's the epitome of a defender, has it all, can defend, he's a leader. And whenever you talk about the old days, especially at Arsenal, you go, what we need a defender is we always refer to him as the guy we would like our next defender to be. So
you're saying from his time, he has been the SI unit of defending all the way till now. He's the comparison everybody should make.
I mean, if who else? You're going to say Terry? You're going to say
Martin Keown? At least for Arsenal.
Get out of here, man.
Adams.
Not much of a leader as Adams was.
I mean, you could throw in for defenders, you could throw Ferdinand in there as well. He's like a Rolls Royce of a defender.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the list.
Yeah, so I mean, you could go for Ferdinand as well, but for me, it's Adams.
So Tony Adams. Okay, Steve.
Is it only one from the 23?
Is you pick a keeper anyway?
Don't worry. Just pick one.
No, I'm not gonna pick it. It'll be Bergkamp. It'll be Bergkamp.
Oh, so you're going with Dwayne? You're going with Bergkamp?
Yeah, because he's just for a lot of the reasons Dwayne said, and I think he helped revolutionize the club. I know Henry gets most of the plaudits and stuff like that, but Bergkamp done it with Anelka, right? Henry, he a lot ran through him. And he helped influence the way Arsenal played and kind of like gave a platform for people like Henry to really express themselves. And I think he taught them a lot. He taught them a lot on and off the pitch as to be a professional.
So now the beauty about this is that I'm sure it was so easy. It was so easy for you to pick who you pick. I mean, the Arsenal boys both went for Arsenal boys. The temporary Man United fan also went for an Arsenal player. But now the question is, who out of that 23 shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame? Now that's the question I put to you, because picking who you think should be in there is so easy. Oh yeah, this guy, that guy. But out of the 23,
for me, possibly Michael Owen.
Hi. Why?
Possibly Michael Owen.
Why?
Because he wasn't in the English game long enough, firing at all cylinders to put him head and shoulders above some other strikers.
Best player of the world. He won Ballon d'Or or whatever it's called.
That's over a season. I said over the course. How long was Michael Owen in the Premiership?
As far as I remember, about 7 years.
As a Liverpool player.
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
Yes. He's on FIFA as well.
Say again.
He's dope on FIFA, mate.
And how many of those seasons was he injury free and stuff like that?
No, he
was he the top guy for 7 years?
Yep.
Is what I'm trying to say. He was the top guy for 7 years.
Of course, yeah.
Really?
So
Michael Owen.
So you don't want Michael Owen in there because you don't think Michael Owen has contributed
No. We're talking about Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
So
yeah,
we're talking about the creme de la creme, right? Do I think Michael Owen is a better striker than someone like Robbie Fowler, Alan Shearer, Andy Cole? No. Yeah, there's people like Ryan Giggs that's not in that 23. Yeah, so would I take Michael Owen and put Ryan Giggs in?
He's not in that 23 this year.
Yeah, but that's what's.
He's not in that 23 this year. There'll be another list that'll come up.
But that's what's there in front of me. So
okay,
I would say I would take someone like Michael Owen out and put someone like Ryan Giggs in.
Okay, Mike, do you agree that Michael Owen shouldn't be in there?
No, I don't.
Why?
Strikers Union.
Strikers Union. You wouldn't even make the Hall of Fame. I don't know what you're talking about. Strikers Union for. But so you're only supporting him because he's a striker.
No, but for real, mate, Michael Owen was deadly, man. Come on, it's him, it's Fowler. For a long time, just those two. Oh, mate, he's quality. He has to be in there. Come on, he's one of those names. He has to be in there.
So who comes out then?
Well, but if eventually they're all going to get in there. Who comes out for me?
True.
Take out Roy Keane, man. Take out Cantona.
Well, there's a wonderful smoke in the air. And as far as I'm concerned, it must be weed or something because take out Roy Keane and take out Cantona. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Dwayne, what do you agree with Steve in terms of Michael Owen should be in there?
No, I'm looking at this list right now, yeah. This is difficult.
Exactly. They all deserve it.
I don't feel. No. Let's be honest to be in there. I don't feel anyone deserves to be taken out. However, sorry, mate. My good old friend back to the well, Matt Le Tissier.
You take him out.
Yeah.
I would take Matt Le Tissier out, man.
He won nothing. What did he win?
I'd take him out. He didn't win anything. People talk about him being an influence. He scored 100 goals. I'd like someone to check for me how many seasons he was at the club. Majority of the time, he played as a forward. In fact, if anyone who's watching this can let us know in the comments, that would be absolutely brilliant. Yeah, out of all of them, I think I would probably choose either Letitia or Owen. I think, yeah, I'm with that, but I'd probably sway with Letitia.
Right.
Okay.
I've actually just looked at the list, right? And who I would actually take out will be Robin van Persie.
Oi!
Ahead of Owen.
Take him out. Take him out.
Ahead of Owen. I've just looked at the list, yeah. And
take him out.
I would keep Owen in that list and take Robin van Persie out.
And let me guess, this has nothing to do with the fact that he left you in cold.
No, because Robin van Persie, for all his talent, yeah, he only produced
2 good seasons.
one and a half, possibly 2 seasons. The half of the season before he left, the half of the season before he left Man United, the end half of the season before he left to go Man United, and the season he was at Man United.
So
all the other seasons he did little bits, but he was constantly injured.
Van Persie's last how many years in Arsenal? Please mention the player.
He was injured. He was injured a lot of the time.
He got injured at a certain point. So, okay, first of all, before we even get to Van Persie.
What about him?
Boy, this is difficult, man.
Before we get to Van Persie, Dwayne says you take out Letitia because Letitia didn't win anything, right? Okay. Steven Gerrard, first of all, this is a Premier League Hall of Fame. No other tournaments in there. Steven Gerrard never won the Premier League. Never. So,
One FA Cup, though.
So, sorry?
One FA Cup, though.
Letitia won nothing.
It's the Premier League Hall of Fame.
Premier League Hall of Fame. No other thing
playing
from Premier League.
Playing in the Premier League.
Playing in Premier League. So, but yeah, the point is, Letitia was the most influential. Letitia was like what Grealish is for Villa. You take Grealish out, Villa goes down. Without
but who's Villa though? No offense, Dwayne.
Yeah, no, but well, who's Villa? There's a club. It's a club in Birmingham. The point I'm trying to make here is that in terms of influence, man, Letitia. If you're taking Letitia out based on the fact that he didn't win anything, then Steven Gerrard should have been there. He didn't win the Premier League. Michael Owen won the Premier League with Man United. Just saying. So I'm just wondering why you take Letitia out. So Mike, who do you take out?
Robin van Persie. I don't know how he got in the first place.
Is that based on the transfer from Arsenal to Man United or just Van Persie?
No, listen, I used to love that guy. I hate him now, but I used to love the guy, yeah? But let's be honest, he had I'm going to say he had 2 quality seasons. First 2 seasons, he was phenomenal. But is that enough to be a Hall of Famer for those 2 seasons? Given the people that's on that list.
Yeah, even without that list, yeah, for me, Van Persie's done really well, but Mo Salah's done consistently more in the Premiership as a striker than Van Persie.
Yeah, first of all, Mo Salah can't be in that list because he's still playing. So
okay.
So it's only people who are not.
It's only people that it's only players that have retired.
So then another one up right there. Not even gigs. I'll take out Van Persie and put in Gianfranco Zola.
Thank you. I was wondering why Gianfranco Zola is not on this list at all. That don't make no sense to me.
You know, first of all, this list is 23 players. At the end of the day, only 6 of them can get in there this year.
What about Lampard though? He's not on the list.
Lampard.
Yeah, he's on the list, man.
Robert Perez isn't on there.
Who?
Robert Perez.
Robert Perez is not on there.
And he done more in an Arsenal jersey than Van Persie did.
You sure about that? Because when it comes to contribution and all that, fortunately, is that a lot of people look at goals. No,
I'm not talking about goals. I'm talking about.
I know you're not talking about goals, but a goal is the greatest contribution for a team. That's why strikers and midfielders always get the highest.
I know, and us goalkeepers get no love.
No, come on, you get some love.
Steve, are you even a goalkeeper anymore?
Yes, Mike, I am still a goalkeeper, and I will come back to show my qualities in a couple of weeks.
Just so that
I'm not paying for your subs, by the way, because Tottenham got dealt with, innit?
Just so that you know, you did say you were going to come back this coming weekend.
I didn't. 10th.
Okay, cool.
10th.
But first of all, the 10th is Monday.
Saturday.
No, 8th is a Saturday. The 10th is a Monday.
Or the 8th then, the 8th. I said second Saturday.
Okay, cool. All right. So now looking at that list. So you've all mentioned. First of all, Michael Richards was wondering why Company Aguero wasn't in. I mean, Aguero hasn't retired, but he was wondering why Company wasn't in there. Company and David Silva. So David Silva and Aguero, well, they don't play. Silva
He's still active.
Yeah. So the player for the list now, the players must, for them to even make the list, they must have been retired before the 1st of August last year, I think. So David Silva and Aguero probably wouldn't make the list. But he's wondering why Vincent Kompany is not in there.
Wasn't he player manager at Anderlecht?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gave that up after like 2 months or something. So.
Oh, okay. Does Kompany get in there?
He would do. Not yet, though.
I don't know. I don't.
He would.
I need to see that list again.
Yeah, there's a couple of players that, will, as I said, will get in there for me ahead of him, and Zola, Giggs, definitely.
This is retrospective, so we're going to the old school first, looking at Keane and all that lot. But over the next couple of seasons, then we'll start looking at more modern
players, more recent players. Yeah.
Yeah, Kompany's gonna have to, whether it's 5 years time or whatever, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to be in there.
I ain't got the list up at the moment, but can someone tell me, is Gary Neville there?
No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
No.
Gary Neville's not in there. I'm actually surprised none of you have said Ian Wright should be in there. Ian Wright should actually win.
Ian Wright's in there.
Yeah, he's in the list. But I'm surprised nobody's actually picked him. Okay, I tell you what. Steve, you're looking at the list right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me your six.
Ooh. Bergkamp, Vieira, Tony Adams.
You just gonna pick? You just pick?
No. I'm not picking just Arsenal. I'm not picking just Arsenal. Tony Adams, Steven Gerrard. Oh man, that's tough. It's tough. It is tough.
It is not tough. I don't understand why it is tough. It is so easy.
Why? Because if you're thinking that it's only these 6.
Oh, we've lost Steve.
You can't think they're gonna go in next year. No, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna think they're going in next year. So why is it so easy?
It's easy for me. Yeah, I don't.
Because you're gonna pick all the Man United ones.
No.
That's what you're gonna do.
No. I have my 6 already.
Schmeichel goes in there.
Goalkeeper union.
No, it's just for the Schmeichel factor. It's just the fact that he changed goalkeeping when he came here.
Pretty much.
He pretty much changed it. And that's yeah, there should be a couple other goalkeepers in there, but we won't go into that. How many have I picked so far?
5.
So
you picked Bergkamp, you picked Tony Adams, you picked Steven Gerrard, you picked Schmeichel. Yep, so that's 4 actually.
It'll probably be Robbie Fowler.
Okay.
Hey, and it's a toss-up between Scholes, Cole, and Letitia.
Wow. Mike, you have your 6?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot Cantona. Raw.
I'm gonna go Drogba.
Didier Drogba. Tra-la-la-la-la.
I'm gonna go Stevie G.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Era. I'm gonna go Adams. So when it's already got in there, right? So that's fine.
No.
Okay. Go between Cantona and Keane. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go. Oh shit. Okay, Cantona. Schmeichel, the keeper in there. How many is that? Is that 5?
Yeah, 1 more.
Yeah. So if Ashley Cole's the only left back, isn't he?
Man's picking a 5-a-side team. That's why I'm trying to win it.
Parlour.
Okay, Dwayne.
Dennis Bergkamp, 100%. Ashley Cole, at one point, was the best left back in the world in the Premiership.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Frank Lampard, because at one point when he was at Chelsea, he was the best attacking midfielder in the world. It was either him or Deco. He won that battle, so he has to go in there. Schmeichel, by default. However, I think I'd probably pick him against Schmeichel. I mean, ahead of Seaman or Czech. Paul Scholes, the most purest central midfielder I think I've seen in my lifetime, just behind Zidane. And I'd probably just about choose John Terry over Adams.
What, John Terry?
I would.
Is that because he's like at Villa?
He won everything.
Is that because at Villa though?
He won everything.
But is that why? Because he's at Villa.
I think Matt's trying to get to our answer on something here.
I know. He won everything. He won everything. What can you say?
Interesting. I mean, well, you guys.
What's your one?
Mine is simple, very simple. Paul Scholes. I agree with Dwayne. One of the best midfielders I've seen. Ian Wright, number 2. Eric Cantona, number 3. What's his name? Oh yeah. Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane, 4 and 5. I'm picking the players that I feel hard. I can tell you, and I'll tell you number 6, somebody that you'll be surprised that I picked. Andrew Cole.
Yep.
And one of the reasons I can literally tell you a breakdown of why I picked every player. But one thing about Andrew Cole that I really like is that man scored 187 goals with just 1 penalty. One. Only took just 1 penalty. He refused to take penalties. The only time he took a penalty was, I don't even know the reason. But I feel he is probably one of the most underrated strikers in Premier League. They talk about Shearer. And then I think he's the 3rd highest goal scorer. Is it the 3rd? I think it's the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, Andy Cole. Yeah, I think he's 4th.
They mention everybody else before him and after him, but nobody ever
mentioned him.
I don't understand what he needs. It's not like he can prove anything again, but 1 penalty in 187 goals. Wow. No, man. And the guy was a classic player. Classic. Roy Keane and Vieira, as far as I'm concerned, you can't call one without the other. And apart from rivalry that both teams had, those guys, they epitomize what it means playing for a team. You know, when you put that jersey on, Vieira, oh God. I like the story of when Vieira, in Anelka's book, where Arsenal is winning 4-1 or so, and Anelka misses a chance. So they go back to the dressing room and everybody's talking and enjoying themselves based on, oh yeah, we won the game. But Anelka missed the chance to score, even at 4-1. And Vieira gripped him in the dressing room, asking him why he was mocking about and why he didn't score a 5th goal. So that tells you the kind of the mindset. Or Roy Keane gripping Philip Neville and telling him he has cost him his bonus money because Man United lost the game. Those are guys that they made football. They made people understand that, look, it might be the fans and everybody else might see us as just football players, but this thing is life. And I feel Vieira, the way Roy Keane's playing was very underestimated. I feel Vieira's defensiveness, a lot of people underestimated it. That guy, as Henry said, that guy can play defensive midfield on his own. He wouldn't need anybody else. And once he gets a tackle, him and very few defenders now, once he gets a tackle, he stands up and he's going for an attack. There's no, look at me, it's such a pretty tackle. And everybody, none of that. He just, and then he used to really embarrass my boy Paul Scholes. Just used to hide him. You know, he do ping pong for somebody's head.
He was to me, he's complete. He is complete as a midfielder.
He didn't score as many goals, of course, because of his position. But those two, man, and Paul Scholes, all this argument with Paul Scholes, Frank Lampard, Steve J, who's the best? Paul Scholes, hands down. There's no
debate. No debate.
There's a debate in that.
No. I don't want to hear that debate. Mm-mm.
I've never heard that debate actually. I've only ever heard the debate of Gerrard and Lampard. I've never heard of people put Scholes in it. Because to me, Scholes is better than both of them because of his intelligence as a player.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, so to me, it's not even a comparison.
No, they always compare all three. However, Ray Ferdinand said
they don't.
He'll pick Lampard because Lampard will give you 20 goals a season.
He'll give you what?
He'll give you 20 goals a season, and
you only need that if your strikers are not doing it.
Nah, you don't, Steve.
Nah, you always need it, man. You always need 20 goals, Steve.
You don't need 20 goals coming from midfield.
Yeah, you do.
If your strikers are flopping, then you need it.
No,
from one midfielder, not the whole midfield. Midfielder.
You always need 20 goals.
You always need 20 goals from anybody.
No, you would like 20 goals from a midfielder, but if your strikers are banging, do you need 20 goals from midfield?
Of course.
Yeah, because then you're winning.
It gives you more goals and it gives you more chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
If your strikers are misfiring.
Didier Drogba scored 15 goals in his first season as a Chelsea player.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Lampard scored more.
Mm-hmm.
And Drogba had a very good season, played well, set up this, set up that, blah, blah, blah. And then you need to remember that first season where Chelsea won the league, they were winning games 1-0, 2-0. They won't concede 1-0, 2-0. Mm-hmm. And you think those 20 goals he scored didn't count?
No. I didn't say it didn't count. I said it's nice to have to come from an attacking midfielder, 20 goals. But if your strikers are firing, if your strikers are banging, the reliance on the midfielder getting the goals is not that much.
Yeah, but it's not about relying on him. That's what he does.
It wasn't. You don't have to rely on it, but you will take 20 goals from.
So what's more important for the midfield? To give you 20 goals a season or to control a game?
Well, 20 goals. Someone else can control it.
He can do both.
Win the game, does it?
Lampard didn't used to do both.
No, but hold on, Steve. Controlling the game, possession, or whatever you call it, doesn't win you the game. Goals win you games. That's it.
So based on that analogy, then you would take Lampard over Zidane every time. Because Lampard gets you goals. Zidane won't.
A lot of people
20
will.
goals season.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people will do that actually.
But hold on. What is Zidane's goal contribution?
Not great.
It's not as great. It's not 20 goals. It's not 20 goals a season.
When he scores, but does he assist?
Not always.
No, but then now you're moving it.
A lot of people don't know that.
No.
He was never an assist king.
I agree with Mike because first of all,
I'll take goals.
First of all, the setup you can do both. So Zidane, Steve, you have a point in the sense that if your strikers are Zidane played in teams where he played with Raul, he played with Ronaldo de Lima, he played with all these players that Zidane scored. Oh, he also scored very special goals. He wasn't one of those that Zidane scores. You're like, wow, this is good.
And he's got in finals.
However, he did have wonderful goal contributions at the time. Mm-hmm. And then you need to remember that Lampard he changed so Paul Scholes was the first midfielder to get Paul Scholes and Robert Pires both had 14 goals in one season in the Premier League. And then there was a lot of noise about it because midfielders that could contribute to the game, score goals, blah, blah. They were changing football. It wasn't just based on, we need our strikers to score every time. If our midfielders are putting in more goals, it's wonderful. So you can do both. And Lampard did both a lot of times.
Plus, hold on. You're acting like, say, Lampard didn't get any assists and didn't get any tackles in and get passes. Like all he does is just goal hang.
Who?
Lampard scored 20 goals, but he'd still do the role of a midfielder. He'd still
100%.
He'd still get assists. So that's added to his goal contribution, by the way. And he still get tackles in at the other end. It's not like he was just goal hanging.
And then everybody forgets creation. So sometimes you might not get the assist, but you created the goal, which is another thing that, Stevie G was very good at. And he also got goals, special goals as well. So, an assist is wonderful, but imagine when you have a situation, as Mike said, you break the play, you beat like 2-3 players, you give somebody, he just gives a 1-2 pass. Oh my God, what an assist. But the guy that has done all it's a bit like what I go through every Saturday.
It's
a bit of what I go through every Saturday.
Give me strength.
Start stroking your glass, boy. Wow.
I don't know, man. Double shot, triple shot. I don't know what happened.
Some proper overproof moonshine business.
This guy.
Wow.
Okay, so now with the I don't know if I'm assuming there'll be nominees every year for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And so moving forward, what happens? So the guys that don't make it this year, do you think they'll be nominated again? How did I don't even know how the list came out.
I think it must be and the thing is, the fans apparently it's the fans that's putting them in, isn't it? So the fans vote, and that's how they go in.
Yep, but then So they get like a 23-man squad and then they vote again. One player that I'm surprised actually isn't in there is David Ginola.
He will get, he will, well, I say he will. He is quality. I don't know if he'll get in Hall of Fame though. But again, he was like a Newcastle legend as well.
Yeah.
Was a Tottenham legend, Newcastle legend.
Mm-hmm. There's a few.
Oh wait, hold on. Are the nominations pure? The nominations purely can't just be from fans, right? Is it?
No, the voting. So they've nominated them and then you vote.
Oh, okay.
The fans vote them in, which I think is a bit silly. I think they should actually have like a panel and then the panel pick them. It's not let the fans.
No, but you don't want the fans. So the panel has picked the 23-man squad.
But the panel should pick the players that enter the Hall of Fame.
Then what about us then?
Yeah, but that'll be.
Well, yeah, that's true. What would be the point of the voting in the first place?
Why? I'm not saying there should be a vote.
Okay, first of all, how many people would you want on that panel?
Why are you always complicating, Steve? I don't
say
again. Why are you always complicating things all the time?
No, I'm not complicating things, but five people.
So you want 5, Dwayne? You want 4? 4 people to make the decision of who gets into the Hall of Fame. Just 4, and Steve just 5, and you think that is better than the fans voting?
Yeah, but the fans are gonna base it. Some fans are gonna base it on the criteria is gonna be massive on how each fan votes. Yeah, but if you have a criteria for what makes a player enter the Hall of Fame, it's easier and it's fair.
Yeah, but the criteria is what they have used to pick the 23-man squad.
Yeah,
which they used. So first of all, they say it is influence on and off the pitch. Which
on and off the pitch.
Yes.
So there's a question mark that someone like Tony Adams should be in there.
Or Paul Scholes.
Because he was a drunk.
Yeah, but he contributed to many pubs' freaking coffers, though, didn't he? So that's all right.
Sorry. Dwayne, you said Paul Scholes shouldn't be in there because of what?
I'm saying if we're talking about influence on and off the pitch, why is Paul Scholes there?
So what did he
do off the pitch?
He bought Oldham United.
No, apart. Okay, so we're just talking about. Are we just talking about in regards to football, or we're talking beyond? Because if we're talking about off the pitch, for example, someone like Drogba and the charity work and everything that he's done, I'm comparing to that sort of stuff. Or are you just talking about football related? It's
just football related. It's not just based on charity and stuff. Even though loads of like Leticia will not be there. Loads of
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Certain mans would not be there if we're talking about on and off the pitch as a combination.
No, it is on and off the pitch in contribution to football.
Oh.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, I think it should just be fans voting, so I don't need to go for this crap. It's just the fans voting. So then it's done, isn't it?
So, moving away from the Hall of Fame situation and talking about situation off the pitch and Tony Adams is drunk. Steve, man, he knew how to handle his drink. That's all. You like?
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying he couldn't handle his drink because man will get drunk and then go and turn up and play football, isn't it?
Well, as well.
Well, he played well. I mean, there were loads of Arsenal players that used to do those things. Ray Parlours.
Well, you couldn't say he didn't do it well until he stopped drinking, but.
And then move
because he did with the league until Wenger come and he stopped drinking. Yeah, before he could only do it for the cup, man. He could only do it for the cup. Yeah, but he only done that shit probably when Wenger come along and he stopped that drinking business. Anyway, let's move on.
Moving on. So first of all, I know that Ray Parlours has apologized. He has come online. He has apologized for blah 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 blah. What he said to Robbie of Arsenal Fan TV. So now, first of all, I mean, if you remove rivalry and anything aside, beef, whatever, what Robbie and these boys have done for Arsenal fans, as far as I'm concerned, they pretty much opened the door or the possibility for every other team to have their own channel. And these are guys that took their own money. And this, first of all, that's the question I always used to ask. I don't know the names of the people on Arsenal TV, but those boys don't miss any game. They go everywhere. They go all the way to Baku and places like that people will not go. And these guys watch Arsenal every time. I think what's the name of the guy that's always shouting? The one that has gone to America or something for
Troops.
Troops. I think there was only one game Troops missed in how many years, and that's because he was banned from the country or something funny. So you can imagine. So this guy not only created a channel, he created a platform that other people could actually start doing. Because until Arsenal TV came out, other clubs didn't have it. Nobody was doing it. These guys took a camera, their opinions, traveling around the country, traveling around the world, and he has made it to what it is today. And of course, they always tell us, if you want to do a business or make money, do it doing things that you love. Yes, Ray Parlours apologized. Now, my problem with that apology is he said it wasn't anything personal. But you attacked the guy personally, especially when you're talking about the Super League and saying how, they want Arsenal to lose because of clicks. I just feel, man, Ray Parlour probably looked at the numbers that he gets from TalkSport and looked at Arsenal TV and was just terrible. Personally, I don't feel the apology. I don't think it was enough. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, it's fake. It's a fake apology, man. Because in it, he said it was nothing personal, but it was clearly. And then after that, he said something like, "God, because he's done well for himself, isn't he? He's done well for himself." So basically saying he's lined his pockets. So you're still saying the same thing you were saying before, but in a different way. Mug. So to be honest, I don't know why he even needed to come out. Like he said, he bamboozled the guy out of nowhere, started dissing the guy. The guy got a good model, same model that TalkSport has, but better, basically. And he's doing things. It's big. It's not his fault that rival fans want to watch Arsenal TV when Arsenal on the pitch are crap. If we're winning every game, then the interviews would be different, and probably Spurs fans won't want to watch it. But at the moment, we're crap. That's not his fault. He's just reporting. He's a reporter, isn't it? Media. He's just reporting what's happening on the pitch. So I don't see how he does anything different with TalkSport and other things.
Do you, Mike, Dwayne? Do you agree with Arsenal TV creating a platform that is good, but it has also created a platform that has become toxic to a lot of Arsenal fans?
Well, I'm going to start calling it Arsenal Fan TV before we get in trouble, first of all. All right. It's a brilliant platform. Absolutely brilliant platform. It's exemplary. Robbie Lau has done absolutely brilliant work. I haven't got a bad word to say about their channel whatsoever. It can be incredibly controversial, but controversy sells. We know how it works. Sex sells, controversy sells. People love seeing controversy. You know, I've seen the show a few times, and I love watching, the show, regardless whether they win or lose. But I feel like I'm into the characters as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not just the actual show itself. I'm into the characters. Like even the other day, I was watching like a side show with one of their characters with this woman, like going on a date and things. So, you guys know what I'm talking about. Right? So I'm invested in the whole platform of what they've done. Incredibly brilliant. Parlour, you prick. You absolute prick, right? I can't believe this guy. I am fuming with this guy. When it comes to football, the guy was in unbeaten team, wasn't he? Someone tell me, wasn't he in the 49ers team? The 49 team?
Nah, he wasn't.
Parlour, no.
Was he not? Right? This guy, he was doing bits on the pitch. I remember this guy banging in goals in the FA Cup final, kind of stropping us. I liked him. He'd walk into the Arsenal team right now. This guy's serious.
But Dwayne, ask a question though. How is what AFC do controversial? It's basically a fan's opinion. What they portray on the day is probably what's happening in most people's houses or pubs.
100%, Mike. I agree. The reason why, what I'm saying is it comes across controversial because it looks like they're preying on Arsenal's, not demise, but their poor form at the present moment in time. But that's exactly, it's stats. It's not their fault. And that's exactly why that prick Parlour, right, at the end of the day, he had absolutely no right to come at Robbie Lau and AFTV like that. Wasn't Robbie Lau on the show for something completely different?
First of all, they were on there talking about Super League. But one of the best things I like now is Dwayne is wearing a Man United shirt, showing so much passion for Arsenal. This is you can never get this anywhere else, man.
It's true.
Steve, what do you think about it? Because I know once I've suggested for you to go on there, and you're like, no, you don't want to cause a fight. So, what do you think about this situation?
First of all, the same way that he attacked Robbie, in a public way, he should have issued the apology in the same fashion. So invite him back onto the show and make the apology there. For me, if you genuinely mean the apology, that's what he should have done, Parlour. He was completely out of order for coming at him like that. If he wants to come at him like that, bring the man on for that purpose. Don't sideswipe him, get him off of one thing and then talk about something else. At the end of the day, Arsenal Fan TV, as everyone said, it's a great platform, and it's the first. Maybe other fan TVs have started before that, but that's the first one that blew. And it's probably one of the most popular ones because of the way that they do it. It is frustrating watching it sometimes as an Arsenal fan, because it would be nice for them to, it's negative, but also don't just go along with the train that's running away. Come with some solutions. It's easy.
Well, first things first. See, I think Steve is very big on this solution thing. First of all,
it's easy to criticize.
That's the opinion.
Yep, there's an opinion. And fan television, first of all, one of the reasons I don't watch Arsenal TV. I only know about it because it's popular and all that. But I'll tell you what, the best thing that Arsenal TV did, which opened the door, the eyes of. So Arsenal TV was the first channel that actually dedicated it for fans to actually speak their mind. So it wasn't a case of, you have Talk Sports and everybody else that people call in, he was a good guy, Mike. Yeah, but no, none of that. It was one of those that, look, it's about the fans. What do you think? I don't understand when people say it's controversial, because it means that what we are saying here is controversial because we speak our mind.
Yeah, it's controversial. It is, because people don't agree with it.
And in terms of solutions, Steve, what solution do you want troops to give to the Arsenal?
But instead of just effing and blinding at the screen, I can understand that there's frustration and stuff, but to me that's easy. What do you see? What do you see that you would do slightly different, or you would do different? Yeah, because me sitting there saying, effing this, effing that, effing this, effing that, performance is poor. That's obvious. That's what's seen on the pitch. But say something about. Say again.
You watch it though, because
I watch what?
AFC2, because they all give their own solutions. In different people give solutions.
Yeah.
There's cuss, but ultimately he'll say, "Get this guy out." His answer is get their owner out, get the player out. But there are other people on there, like Mo, for example. I used to be on
who talks eloquently,
with Graham. So it's arranged. So different flavors for different people. You're not going to, in real life, you're not going to have someone there flipping, drinking wine and smoking a cigar, talking about football. Who does that? Well, I think we could do this.
No, but it doesn't have to. I'm not saying that it has to be someone of a certain type, but at the end of the day, whether it's what's pushed out or maybe it could be that it's what people see. So the clips that come out and the spread, right, are the negative ones, right, and that's giving jokes, and the ones that's where they're sitting there talking properly, because there's one where they sit down and talk with Gary Neville. And that's a really good exchange, and it's got a few of the characters on there, and they're having a good exchange about football, and because Gary Neville dissed Arsenal Fan TV outside the Man City game.
No, what he said was, so there was the game that Wenger was still the manager, and there was a banner that said Wenger out, and Gary Neville said he felt that was disloyal, and he said anybody that put up that banner was stupid or something. He said that anybody that was stupid. Then Arsenal TV, I can't remember the name of the guy. He's another one that used to go for every game. So they told Gary Neville that was disrespectful, and that if he should come down and explain why he said that, and they too explain why they said what they did. And Gary Neville came down. He accepted it. He came down to London just for that. Which I feel, how many Arsenal ex-players have actually come to the Arsenal TV?
Mariam was on there talking to the troops one time.
Arsenal Fan TV. Bros, don't get us in trouble, man. Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah.
Right?
Arsenal TV.
That's another thing about that prick Parlour, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, this guy is hating, innit? I'm glad you brought up players who come on the show, right? So you got Kevin Campbell, who's come on the show a few times as well, right? And he's doing his thing. That Parlour is a jealous prick, innit? Right? At the end of the day, he's not happy that Robbie is doing what he's doing, and he wishes he was part of Arsenal Fan TV. I guarantee you he wishes, but he's hating, innit? He's absolutely. I don't like that guy. He's a prick now, man. I've got no time for this guy.
Don't you think that Ray Parlour has the same mindset a little bit as Steve over there? So Steve, will never allow you. You can't feel bad in the heat of the moment or whatever. You can't feel bad about Arsenal because otherwise you're not a real fan. No.
No. I didn't say that. I've never said that. I've never said that. No. But this is the same thing. All the people that were trying for Wenger out, right? Look where we are now. Are they still talking Wenger out? Mind what you wish for. And that's what I'm trying to say. You could say Wenger out, but then what do you expect to happen? The man's doing more behind the scenes than people actually see. And now we're seeing it. Now, people all rubbing their hands together and celebrating when Kroenke turned up. Mate, look what people are saying now. People are saying, oh, Kroenke's turned up. He's got loads of money, he's billions and stuff. We're going to start being able to spend. What's going on? The man's coming with a plan.
He's
as a fan,
he's trying to surprise you guys. Don't worry. Big things coming.
Always big things. Big things are gone.
But my problem with a lot of Arsenal fans, right, is that are they Arsenal fans, right, or are they Arsene Wenger fans? Yeah, because if you're talking about knowing success, as an Arsenal fan, right, you fall under the Arsene Wenger category. Because before that dude rocked up, right?
Steve,
in my lifetime, couple of cups.
Steve, you say that all the time, but I keep reminding you about something. Even as an Arsene Wenger fan, you have been a fan of the club for over 20 years.
Yes, I'm not saying it's but JJ, I'm not saying nothing on time.
And when Wenger came, what's wrong with getting used to winning things?
No, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with getting used to winning things, but saying that, how can I say, making it out like we're Liverpool or Man United in terms of trophies, mate, we're not in that league. We're not the same. Yeah, so, we've had it in a condensed time under one manager.
Steve, you know what it is? You've got that small island mentality. Yeah, that's what you've got. Because you're saying that.
Sorry. But Mike, before you continue, what does Dwayne have? Because Dwayne is also from that area. So what does Dwayne have? Does he have small island mentality?
There we go.
I want to hear where he's going this time.
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
I'm just waiting for this one.
Let me leave Dwayne now. Let me stick with Steve for a little bit. Yeah. So you're saying because we were once upon a time not that good, and we haven't got the apparent history that Liverpool and those guys when they dominated for decades, whatever. Therefore, fans can't call out bad performance. And
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say you can't call out bad performance.
Because every time we say, "Oh, Arsenal crap," or "We should do better," you always refer to, "Oh, but in the old days, in the '70s."
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But before Wenger come, right? You would have known about finishing mid-table. Yeah, it's the past, but you would have known about finishing mid-table.
Listen, every club can say that. Every club, Burnley, and all them teams can say, "Oh, in 1954, we were the kings."
It's not even 1954. It's just the manager before we had. It's just the manager before we had.
Oh, yeah, but for the last 20 years, we've been reasonably successful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
And given the money we earn, the stadium we have, the team we've built, we should expect more. Yeah. So
should expect more in terms of what?
More than what we're getting now.
We didn't even achieve as much as what we should have done under Wenger.
Okay, so we
never won back to back. We never won European Cup.
We should have.
Yeah, we underachieved then.
Guys, wait.
Guys, more like teams, man.
Guys, guys, wait. It's a very simple question, and I understand where you're both coming from. So I'll just ask Dwayne. I'll ask you this: is it wrong for when people, after they've tasted success, for them to want more?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Mike, obviously I know your answer. But Steve, the way you talk about people not knowing finishing mid-table and now seeing this and then they get used to that, you make it sound like there's something wrong with wanting to maintain the little success you have tasted.
No. I didn't say there's nothing wrong with wanting more success, but understand where your club is at. The club has never been a club to push on like a Man United, like a Liverpool, like what Man City now, and dominate when they're on top. That's not Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal's not been like that.
But why can't it be?
I didn't say it can't be like that, Mike. What I'm saying is the club structure is not geared like that. We have never been geared like that.
Let me ask you this. When did Wenger took over Arsenal in when?
97.
97.
96, October 96.
So from 96 till about 2000 and let's say 4 or 5?
Yeah, 2005. 2005. Last trophy, FA Cup.
So for 9 years, you were arguably one of the best teams in England.
Yes. Compete with Man United.
Bear Man's in the Hall of Fame.
Isn't that domination?
No, it's not apparently.
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years, yeah.
Isn't that domination? So
yeah.
Even if I started supporting the team, as you say, when Wenger came, for 9 years, I dominated English football and I was used to winning things.
Along with Man United.
Why shouldn't I be used to that if I was an Arsenal fan?
Why shouldn't I be used to that if I was an Arsenal fan?
Yeah.
But
9
you didn't,
years of domination.
Yeah, but you dominated it alongside someone else.
Because it's
did you achieve everything? Should you achieved more in those 9 years? Yes.
One more apart from the Champions League.
If you had a different, if the club had a different mentality to go out there and get success, would we have got more? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but we still had success, right? And
I didn't say not having success, people shouldn't want more. I never said that.
But we still were a top 4 club at the time, yeah? At the time, we were a top 4 club. The expectation is maybe not to win the league, but to challenge for the league, yeah? At least challenge, at least till what, February, March, when we fall away. That we're not even doing that when our expectation, based on our history, recent last 10 years or so, 20 years if you count it really, that we should be challenging. And we're looking at the people, look at the teams that we used to dominate with, pull away from us.
Because it's in the DNA. It's in the DNA of their club. It's not. I don't believe it's in the DNA of Arsenal.
Is it DNA? It's not Man City.
Say again.
Was it in Chelsea?
They're putting it in it. They're putting it in it now.
All right. So DNA is something that you add to a club, right? So Kroenke could have.
He can do it. Yes.
Right.
He can change the DNA of the club.
So it's not about DNA then, is it? It's about your owner. It's not about DNA.
It's not about the owner. You can instill it in a club.
Okay.
You can change the way the club.
I'll tell you this. We could be here forever. And this is the beauty of Grassroot Chats, especially when we have Mike and Big Steve, and Dwayne is just getting. See, Dwayne, this is your fault, man. You're like Ray Parlours. You're attacking. Speaking about DNA and speaking about success and things, we'll move on to the last topic of the day. And I don't know what you guys think, so I'm going to ask this. So Gary Neville made a statement after Man City beat Tottenham in the cup. And he said that there is the possibility that Pep Guardiola is the best manager of all times. And he's saying this, and one of the reasons he said this is because Pep has won, apart from not winning the Champions League with Bayern. So he's been with Barcelona, he's been with Bayern, and now he's been with Man City. And if he wins the Champions League this season, he's pretty much best manager of all time. At least one of his there in the top 5 or whatever. Is that an overreach? Is it something that he can possibly achieve with more trophies? Or do you guys actually think he's possibly going to be one of the best? I mean, he's going to be one of the best managers of all time if he continues with his team. But right now, would you say he's top 5 managers, best managers of all time? Dwayne.
All right. The problem I have with Pep Guardiola is he's been spoon-fed a lot of investment from owners, and he's had so much at his disposal. I find it very difficult to put him in this conversation of all time. If you are better than average manager, you should be able to do serious bits with Bayern, with Barcelona, and with the investment that he's had at Man City. Perfect example was Pochettino. He's better than average. My guy's on the verge of the Champions League. He may even win Champions League this season. Okay. I look at Pep Guardiola and I love his style of football. Beautiful style of football. Apparently he revolutionized Barcelona. I still don't get it, but whatever, right? But at the end of the day, if you are given all the assets that you need, and then no disrespect to the German league, but if you've got all the assets, and at Barcelona you got all the assets, and then you're given the same at Premier League, I'm sorry, for me, you've got to be able to do serious bits, and you've got to be able to just get it done. I don't know, I can't put him in that all great thing yet. I need to think about other managers, but I can't, right now, I can't put him in that top 5 thing. No, I can't do it, man.
Mike?
So there's a reason why he gets spoon-fed this money. It's not just because people like his smile, is it? So he must have had a track record and be a very good manager. But he didn't. Okay, okay, hold on. But they're not. Brendan Rodgers' example, he's a good manager, by the way. He's not getting spoon-fed to come play Man City and Bayern, is he? So there's a reason why. Same thing with Mourinho. There's a reason why big clubs call these guys to come be their manager. So that's really one thing. It's not
though.
Oh, no, it's like saying. So if you're one of the best drivers in Formula One, you're gonna get the best car because you're the best driver. So you get the best kit. It's similar to football. So you can't. What? So you want Pep to go and manage Oldham and then bring them up to prove that he's the best manager in the world?
But this is my point. He was spoon-fed Barcelona the same way Zizou has been spoon-fed Real Madrid.
The top 5 managers, none of them will be Oldham's manager. All of them will be top team managers, and they're all going to have big budgets. You're not going to find a top 5 manager who managed Crystal Palace. That's not how top managers are classed. So anybody who's going to be in your top 5 is going to be at a massive club, and they would have had some sort of investment because that's. I'm
not saying that they wouldn't obtain that. I agree with that part. What you're saying. What I'm saying to you is the fact that his first ever job was Barcelona. Okay, top 2 club in La Liga. It's very difficult to not finish outside of that top 2. He did serious bits there. You give him the accolade. But he went from there to the champions of Germany and continued to dominate. And then he went to Man City.
He also won the Champions League, Dwayne. He won a triple.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Loads of other managers didn't win it with Barcelona.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying he didn't. But
so
we had this conversation before. We had this conversation before about right guard. If he was there another season, I told you he would continue doing the serious bits. But you guys disagree with me, right? And that's absolutely fine.
Because we disagree. Because we can't do if he was this and.
But that's the whole point of the show. We're allowed to disagree. That's the beautiful thing about it.
So because he didn't win the Champions League with Bayern, and Bayern don't win. By the way, Bayern don't win the Champions League every year, so it's not like they always win it. Yeah. There's loads of managers that went there didn't win it either. But because Pep didn't win it, just like loads of managers didn't win it, he's not one of the top.
Before Steve jump in here.
You see, my name's not Steve, you know. My name's not Steve. Not putting words in my mouth. You're trying to put words in my mouth the same way you're trying to put words in my mouth.
1 second. Steve, jump in here.
So for me, the first split is club manager, international managers. Definitely big divide, yeah, right? So for club managers, yes, he's one of the top 5 for me. Anyone in the top 5 managers would have probably spent in their league one of the biggest sums of money.
Okay, now
while they're winning.
Let me ask you guys this, because Mike touched on this. Steve, you have said the same thing. Dwayne agrees. So every top 5 manager, as you say, will be given big budgets and they will manage big teams. Diego Simeone, is he in their top 5?
What, of all time?
No. Well, first of all, the way the conversation has gone from all time to right now. So right now, we are like what? We agree Pep Guardiola is in top 5, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Is it possible to put him of all time as he's still managing?
You've got a point there. But you can already see that he's going to be. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. So, but then in terms of, okay, so let's forget about all time. Because Gary Neville did say he will be, especially if he wins. Because if he wins the Champions League with City now and retires, for example, It will be the first time City is winning the Champions League. They have, it will be 3 Premier League titles, which they will win 3 Premier League in 5 years. He has won every other thing with all the other clubs he has been in, apart from the Champions League with Bayern. So, in the short spell that he has been a manager, would that qualify him, if let's say he retires and they win the Champions League, would that qualify him of being one of the best? Because that's still not a one. That's like I mean, apart from the fact that Mourinho has been sacked, that's like a Mourinho record.
Yeah, the thing is for me with Pep is not only what he wins, it's what he's brought to football.
Exactly.
And the way his teams play and the way they dominate their league. They put a stamp on you and you don't forget it. They've changed the Premiership. Yeah, the way they've played. It's a bit like when Wenger came on and he came here and he put on all the big athletic players playing slick football and stuff. Pep's here and Pep's just done a number on the league. The way he's played made the wingers go out wide. You know what I mean? Playing from the back and all that kind of stuff. And players are better. Players are playing better for it. On the other hand, when you look at someone like Simeone and what he's able to achieve with the limited resources that he has is really impressive.
So I see Dwayne's point in the sense that I don't agree. Well, in terms of spoon feeding, I just feel everybody's given an opportunity where you can, because Pellegrini was in the Man City team, didn't do much. He won the league, I think, or did he? I can't remember.
Yeah. Hughes was like City team.
Matthews was there. So people are given these opportunities and they don't make the football look as wonderful as it should be. However, I also understand the point of pretty much taking a team from a lower, what you class as a lower level, and making them a standard team, like Diego Simeone for Atletico Madrid, pretty much. So I can understand both sides, but I still don't think manager of all time. That's a big shout. That is a very big shout.
Who is the best manager of all time? Is it Alex Ferguson?
It's arguable. I mean, it's arguable because people will come back and tell you, oh, he only won 2 Champions Leagues.
He won 13 league. Was it 13 league titles?
Yes, 13 league titles. 13 league titles, 2 Champions Leagues. Zidane has won 4 Champions Leagues.
Three in a row.
3 in a row. And then he has won two league titles. Does that automatically put him as one of the greatest managers of all time?
It depends what.
It depends on the criteria. And as I said, for me, for Pep, it's his style of, it's the style of play. And now people are trying to copy what he's done. So say that again, Mike.
I said Fergie will be in there.
Yeah, Fergie will definitely be in there, but Fergie wasn't. Did he come with a new style of play?
So is it fair to say? So Pep started his new style of play in Barcelona, right?
Yeah. But isn't it just an extension of what they already do? But he just does it better.
Yeah, he kind of like refined it and probably got better people to do the style of play.
Because it's not
and I think going from Barcelona, he had to develop it even more because at Barca he had Messi. Yeah, the clubs he's gone to afterwards, he hasn't had that.
Yeah, but he's got Foden. So
yeah, but Foden's not going to pick the ball up from the opponent's half. Dribble to the other end and put it in the top corner, yeah? To be himself, yeah.
I like how Mike said that he was trying to keep a straight face.
I don't even know. I don't believe I answered that. Anyway, after Barca, he had to make it more of a team thing. After Barca, when he went to Bayern, it was the team had to do it. He had stars in the team, but it was the team. Same with Man City. It wasn't like Barca. You could still run through Messi.
So which modern? Because let's think about Fergie and Wenger and all them boys because they're like old school.
Is Wenger? Will Wenger be one of the greatest managers of all time? No Champions League.
So if the criteria,
I'm asking a simple question.
No, I want to know because if Champions League,
yes,
we know he is and you know he is. But if it isn't that.
So Wenger will be one of the top 5 managers of all time.
Well, so will Di Matteo then.
I'm asking why is a simple question.
Yes, based on what
Mike, this is how it works. This is how it works. Steve, will Wenger be top 5 managers of all time?
Yes, based on what he done for English football.
Mike, that's how it works. It's simple answer.
I'm gonna hack you up on Saturday, you know. Wait, we go for a corner together.
But we play on the same team.
He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that.
It is all good, people. It's all good. Well, we'll have to leave on that note. Thank you very much, Big Steve, Mike Hen, for joining us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we have delivered to you our Grassroot Chats, another episode. Well, it's goodbye from Steve, Mike, co-host Dwayne, Frank, 39. What's the 39 though?
Do you know what? It's where I want to get to in life and then go beyond, isn't it? Do you know what? I don't even know. It's just there, innit? It's just there. It's just there, innit? I don't even know. Like, it's just some random gram thing, innit? Like, I don't even know, some Instagram thing. Like, it's just a 39.
It was the next. That was 39. Was the next number available?
Who knows?
Make him unique.
I don't know.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another episode of Grassroot Chats.